Roger and I have been watching Fulham matches together since 2005. That's when we first met. We thought we were basically the only two, as we didn't really know of many other Fulham supporters in the area. We had one other friend named Chris that has since moved down to Charlotte. A couple of years ago, I think was the first time that we heard from the club that Danielle from Fulham had reached out to us about registering as an official international supporters group. I think what really was the driving force behind actually getting signed up and starting the actual supporters group officially was last summer, the summer series, when Fulham came over to play in a few American cities, including Washington, D.C., where Roger and I both flew into and met up with the DC crew there. Went to the night before party where Brian McBride showed up, went to the game the next day, just had a great interactions with a lot of Fulham fans from around the country. And this year we've officially started a weekly meetup at Streetside Brewery in Cincinnati. That's been a great partnership. They've pushed us out on their social media. We've gained a lot of new members just from that mutual interest or that mutual following of Streetside, and pretty good turnout. Had a really, really good meetup this past Saturday for the Everton match. We had Fulham, Philadelphia supporters come down for the Eagles-Bengals game the next day, and they came and joined us. We had people from Fulham, Minnesota that happened to be in town. We had Fulham, Dayton, Ohio, which is really close to Cincinnati, came down. So, great gathering so far, and have really enjoyed our official supporters group status.
Oh, absolutely. It sounds fantastic. Great community and getting other support groups together as well, which just massively helps as well. Roger, you must have been really excited when you found out that Fulham were coming to America for the summer series. Not only that, but playing, Aston Villa, Brentford, and Chelsea. So you can see two sort of West London derbies in the flesh. How did you react to the news that Fulham had the summer series and then thus started making those plans to go to the games?
Yeah, well, it really goes back a lot further than that, Jack, as Justin mentioned. We've known each other since 2005. And that was actually when Fulham were playing in Columbus against the MLS All-Stars. And of course, we had McBride and Bocanegra. I belonged to a group at that point called the Fulham Exiles, which is one of the oldest groups, goes back over 30 years. And it was really a bunch of expats that used to communicate and listen to Gentleman Jim and post on a message board during a game. And that really started off, and Justin emailed me, and I saw he was in Northern Kentucky. So we arranged to meet up in Columbus, and that's really, really started. But since then, we've been over to England for the playoff final. And as you mentioned, the summer series in DC, so again, a great opportunity to meet up with lots of other Fulham supporters that typically on a day-to-day basis we don't see.
I think it was tough for the club to get fans over here to take them seriously when they were up and down for a few years, but so for a while it was a question of, are they going to survive? And then it became, are they going to finish in the top half? And now, with Marco over the past few seasons, it's, are they going to make a push for Europe? And the more, the higher those questions keep getting raised, the better that's going to be for Fulham's profile, the more fans it's going to attract. And again, once you start following Fulham, you really fall in love with the club. And I hope that continues to happen over here.
In terms of when the fixtures get moved around and games like Monday night, it must be quite frustrating for yourselves because you might not be able to get the numbers in to watch the game, or might not even be able to watch the game yourself.
Yeah, it's nice to have the for over here when we play on Saturdays. Typically, it's 10 a.m. starts. It's nice to have that consistent start time. That makes it a lot easier, a lot more predictable for folks. So yeah, that's a challenge, but it's I think we can always count on a few of us to be able to turn out, adjust our schedules, and if we get others there, so a few extras, that's great. one of the convenient things about Street Side, and I think why it worked out as well as it did for the Man U match, was that we have some members who don't necessarily live real close to Street Side, but they work really close. So they're able to stop by, take an hour or two off early and come in and join us. So it's not necessarily a lost cause if we play on a weeknight. So it just depends on the day, depends on the week.